Hey everybody, this is Michelle at michellesizemore.com, and that's Michelle with one L. I'm a creative memories advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this page using a border hack. Normally the border maker cartridge looks like this when you punch it, but I'm going to show you how to fold it a certain way and cut it a certain way to get this completely different look out of it. Now these pages or the papers and things that I used on here are from the Tropic Time collection with Creative Memories, if you're looking for those. And let's get started. These are the papers that I used. I love this fun paper. And if you can't see, this has like subtle little rainbows on it, and this has subtle little dots on it. I like papers like that that are monochromatic but have just a little bit of texture to it to make it a little bit more interesting. And then I used this from the Photo Mats and Journal Boxes matte pack. Alrighty, let's go. Okay, first things first, I'm going to show you how to do the fold over. So, grab everything here that we need. I am going to get my score blade from the bottom here, and that's this one. I'm going to open up the blade cartridge holder and take that blade out and put this in. It just needs to have the curvy side down. I'm going to open up my arm, and it's helpful to make sure the little foot on the arm is flipped out. That's this right here. It's down now, and I'm going to flip it out and pop it in place. That helps your paper, helps keep everything straight because this is level, and it gives you something else to match your paper up to. Okay. Now, I want my design to go with the little triangles facing up. So, and my fold is going to be here. So I'm going to do this on this side. I'm going to use the scoring blade at 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches on this side of my trimmer guide is right there. So I'm going to line my paper up with that measurement. And there's a straight line that goes all the way down, so it helps me to make sure my paper is straight. Plus, I'm going to make sure it's flat against this lip right here. So you have two ways to check to make sure your paper's straight, and I always use both. Now, this is the score blade. I'm going to press firm, but not too hard. I don't want to tear my paper, but I do want to do this enough times to get a good line indentation on here so I can it'll be scored so I can fold it. So I'm going to go back and forth about 5 or 6 times, but I'm not pressing like super hard, just a little firm push. And I don't know if you can see that, but there is a score line there. Let me get my light on here just a little better. I just realized I didn't have it fixed right. So there is a line there to score on. Now I'm going to fold it just to get my fold. But what I want to do, this is the side that's going to be facing up. So to do my punching, I actually want to face it toward the back because I'm going to put a little bit of repositionable tape runner here. And I'd rather that be on the back of my paper that's going to show. Because sometimes if you use the repositional paper and tape runner and you go to wipe it off, it might leave a little bit of a white little residue on here. Not a residue, but like tear the paper just a tiny bit, and it might leave some little dots. So I don't want that on this side, so I don't care if it's on this side. Okay, so I'm going to grab my repositional tape runner and just put a few dabs to stick this down. I just want enough to get it to stick down temporarily. After I'm done, I'm going to actually open it up. So it's not going to stay like that. It's just for my punching. Now, this is a trick you have to do with your border maker system. I have cut a little strip of cardstock to 1/4 inch wide, and I mounted it on my tray holder with repositionable tape runner. I can easily take this up anytime, but it is 1/4 inch mounted right here. And it's just to use as a guide for this idea. So I'm going to put my paper in here with the fold side toward my right, toward the tray holder. Now, I'm looking at that white strip that I cut, And I want this just to be slightly toward the left of that. Just slightly, so that you see a little gray strip of the tray between the white strip and your paper. Okay, and I'm good with that. I'm going to close my arm, pop my tray underneath, and then I'm going to use, this is called woven scallop. Let me tell you about this cartridge. If you're not an advisor, you're not going to see this on the website. If you're interested in joining as an advisor, one really cool thing is that we get to order some exclusive things that the general public won't see on the website. Now, I do have some of these, and I can ship you one if you want to order one, as long as they're in stock. As an advisor, I can actually direct ship you one from the website, but if you're not an advisor, you're not going to see it. So it is a perk of being an advisor. If you're ever interested in that, talk to me, because it's really easy to be a Creative Memories advisor now. There are no ordering minimums. It's only $49 to sign up, and you could put in the comments that you want to talk to me about that if you want me to get in touch with you. Okay, so I'm going to put the paper inside this slit right here. Line up my notches. There's 2 notches here, and then everything fits underneath like a puzzle. Okay, and then I'm going to lean over. I'm standing up, lean over on it, and give it a firm push. Okay, and this is doing exactly what I want it to do. Because of this fold technique, it's punching completely different than it would if I didn't do the fold technique. And I can tell it's cutting at the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, open this up very carefully, and fold it down. Now, this is what it looks like. So by using that fold technique, I got the look that I want. Isn't that great? Okay, now, to complete my page, I want to cut some off the top here and some off the bottom. I'm going to look at my measurements here. All right, I need to cut 1/4 of an inch off of the top. So I'm going to switch my blade out, take the score blade out, put the straight blade in. The curvy side always goes down. Open up my tray holder, my paper holder. Make sure my foot is out. Put this in here and line it up at the 1/4 inch mark. Yeah, right here. Okay. And make sure it's straight all the way down. So actually that's too far. That's not a 1/4. Okay. Bear with me a sec. This is the 1/4 inch mark. It's hard to see where they divide the tray up. So that's the 1/4 inch mark. Okay, I'm happy with this now. Sorry about that. So it's straight all the way at the top. It's at the 1/4 inch mark. Now I'm going to cut, because I wanted less of the green to show at the top. So that's why I did that. And then on the bottom, I'm going to cut another 1/4 inch off. So here we go. I'm going to line it up with the 1/4 of an inch mark. Make sure it's straight and cut. And I think this is going to be exactly like I want. And I would save these strips because you can use them as borders on other things. Okay. Now, that is exactly what I want. And I'm going to mount it down on this piece of neutral paper. I like to have in the contrast of light and dark so the light shows through. Okay. I'm going to put my repositionable tape runner in here. I'm going to put it in dabs all the way across. Then I'm going to put a little bit inside these designs, just on the little inside piece, and then put some dabs all the way down here. I'm not going in one big swoosh to waste tape runner. I'm just doing dabs, little dabs on all the sides. And then I would put a few rows of little dabs in the middle. Okay, so now I need to mount. I'm going to do this on cardboard so you can see it a little better. I need to mount this Okay, sorry about that. I need to mount this. Okay, so I need to line it up with the left-hand side, and I want about the same amount of the neutral light background to show on the bottom and the top. Doesn't have to be perfect, but close to the same amount. Okay, and you want to line it up on the left pretty well, and then just kind of gently press all the way across. And now I have the basic background of my page. Now I'm going to show you how to get these two little skinny strips. That is where I use this paper. I love this paper, but it is pretty busy. So I like small amounts of it sometimes. So I'm going to use my trimmer. And on that, there is a straight edge and a decal edge. So I'm going to grab the decal blade. Open that up. Take it out. Put the decal blade in and close. Open my arm. Now, the trick with this, I do want to make sure I get a part of the paper that shows all the colors, and I guess there's out every part of the paper does. Yeah, it does. So I want to cut this very skinny. When you use this trimmer, the blade is always going to come down this left-hand side dotted line right here. So this right-hand side dotted line, I'm going to kind of use as a guide. I want to go in between that and the end. So I see a little strip of that gray. Line it up at the top, slide it down. So that is lined up with that second dotted line, but I want to move it over past it a little bit. So you can see, I see a skinny strip of this gray. Mess that up. Make sure it's straight all the way down. This was a lot easier when I wasn't on video. Okay, it's not hard, it's just, okay, I'm good with that because it looks straight all the way down and I see a little strip of gray on the outside of my paper. Got the decal blade in here, so I'm going to cut. And that is how I got my little skinny strip, and I need one more of those. Now keep in mind, I just cut with the decal blade. So now I want to switch out and cut with the straight blade because I need one side straight, one side decal. I'm going to measure the same way I just did. I'm going to come over here, and I just want a little strip of that gray on my little on my matte strip to show. I'm getting tongue-tied today. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I have my other skinny strip. And I'm almost done. Okay, so what I do now is I turn this over on the back and put some repositionable tape runner all the way down. Little gentle dabs all the way down. And just be careful. It's skinny and thin, so it might tear on you, so just be gentle with it. So now, I'm going to mount my piece like that on top of this border. I want a little bit of the solid to show underneath the strip so you get the look of the border, but not a lot. Press it down and just rub it. Kind of look at it to make sure you're straight. And press it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, but on the bottom. If you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but the decal side is facing up. I like to have that little textured edge to it. So I'm going to put some tape runner on the back here. Repositionable tape runner is what I always use. And I'm going to mount that, my straight side up, because I want the decal part facing out, away from the design. And now I'm going to mount that. Easy breezy. Okay, that's how easy it is to do that. And then you just take your photos. I've pre-cut these pieces of cardstock to be about the size of photos. Well, to be the size of photos. They're 4 by 6. And just place your photos like you want them. Put them down with repositionable tape runner. And then this little piece right here is, I've dropped it. Here we go. This is from the Photo Matte Pack. but it's big. So I want to cut it down because I just want to use the design. So what I did, I cut 3/4 of an inch off of each side. So I'm going to measure that to 3/4 of an inch over here. Make sure it's straight. Make sure it's straight at the top. Oh, that's not right. That is not right. Sorry about that. I went past the, I'm crazy. Okay, there we go. That's 3/4 of an inch. So cut that off. Flip it over and do the same thing here. Okay, and then I wrote on the back, I cut 1/2 inch off the top. And I believe it was 1 inch off the, yeah, 1 inch off the bottom. Okay, so that's how I got what I wanted to decorate with. Now let's mount everything and we'll be done. Gonna mount my photos, my pretend photos. I put some tape runner at every corner and then little dabs on the sides and 1 dab in the middle or so. And do the same here. Corner, 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 side, 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 and a dab in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to place that. And I realize I kind of want to move my other photos in a little bit closer. Again, that's another reason why I love this repositional tape runner. You can pick things up and move things around while you're crafting, but over time, it does settle down and become more permanent. It's my favorite. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to mount this here. I'm going to line that up with the bottom of this. And I noticed that I want to move this up just a little bit. I like that a little bit better. And that's my page. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you have a great day.